All right, welcome back, Unbreakable Athletics. Jim Beebe. Let's talk about another lesson. Again, we're going to go over the basics. Last week we talked about that pyramid of how you build health and wellness. You start with moving correctly, your GPP, adding strength, power, speed, then sport. This is another basic. You'll find it anywhere. You'll find it in your CSCS, your master's program, your undergraduate program. Prilepin chart. Absolute basics. How do we come up with reps and sets and percentages based on what we're looking to do? All right. So the percentage is based off your 1 rep max. So 55 to 65 is based off your 1 rep, then 70 to 80, 80 to 90, and 90 plus. Reps per set, usually you're doing somewhere between 3 and 6 reps per set. So at this lighter percentage, 3 to 6 reps per set. How many total reps that day are you looking to do? About 24 total is optimal. Minimally 18, maximally 30. Somewhere in between there. You want to get as close to 24 as possible at this rep range. 70, 80, same rep range, but total, you will really only want about 18. And on the minimum side, 12, on the maximum size, 24. You start going over 24 at this range and percentage, law of diminishing returns. I like to follow just simple basic laws and over execute them to the point where we get the most out of it. If you do less than 12, well, you haven't had enough stimulus to really cause adaptation. All right. Heavier, 2 to 4 reps, 15 total, 10 to 20 range. And when you're really heavy, 90 plus, maybe you're trying for 95 for 2 reps, or maybe a PR at 103. 1 to 2 reps, 4 reps is optimal. 10 is way more than really what you want. Okay. And this percentage range, more speed focused. This percentage range, more strength focused. Well, Jim, talk to me about CrossFit. How does that work here? Because that's mostly what our adults do. You'll see an AMRAP that says we're doing 15 reps of deadlift plus run 400 meters and 5 pull-ups. Well, 15 reps is way more than here. Yeah, so let's say we're doing 135. If I'm a 500 deadlifter, that's just a little bit more than 25%, less than a third. So that's way up here. That's how CrossFit can get away with a high rep piece, because the weight is so light. All right, so you can use that for conditioning then. What about this equation here? You'll see this a lot. Force equals mass times acceleration. This part is critical through everything. All right, I want to give a couple examples. Let's say we're doing 55 to 65%, sets of 3. Maybe we're going every minute and a half, and we're doing 8 rounds of 3, so we're optimal, right? 8 rounds of 3 at 60%. And say, oh man, hey, 60%, easy day. This next 15 minutes is not going to be a big deal because it's 60%. It's an easy day. I can kind of just coast. Well, the coasting is terrible. You would just absolutely wasted your time. You absolutely wasted your time. Force equals mass times acceleration. The mass is the percentage, 60%. So if I have a 500 deadlifter, 60% is 300. Mass times acceleration. You want to have as much force as possible to make your body change and adapt. So if I'm going to deadlift and it's like here, and I'm just standing up slowly because it's so easy, I'm just kind of hanging out, taking my time. Maybe I'm even talking while I'm doing it, right? I'm not exerting myself. I'm not trying very hard. I'm not accelerating very fast. My force is low, right? If it's light, it should still be coming up as fast as possible. You'll see people on back squat. They'll squat with 135, then 2 1/4, and 315, working their way up. And the light reps are kind of just squatting down and up, kind of taking their time casually. As you're working your way up, you're shocking your nervous system so it gets ready for something hard coming at the end. We're getting up to 90s. It's going to be hard at the end. The nervous system needs to be ready. Your muscles need to be ready for maximum force. So you need to have maximum force even at the lighter weights. If you have maximum force at the lighter weights, you will end up getting stronger at the heavier weights. Okay? But on the warm-up sets, on the main sets, it's always maximum output, especially when you're coming up on the concentric piece. Maximum force creates the adaptation, so you can get better at the lighter weights. If you're just casual about it, you might as well not do it at all. Second piece, when we have accessories, you might see like 4 sets of 10 or 4 sets of 15. Let's say we're doing Tate press with dumbbells to improve your triceps or your bench is better. When I say 4 sets of 10, all right, The 8th, 9th, 10 reps gotta be hard, right? This is where the CSU core value comes in. You can't quit on those last few reps. They gotta be hard, all right? Where 10's so hard that, you know, you could probably get 11, you could probably get 12, but 13, probably not. 14, definitely not. You only leave a couple reps in the tank. If you're doing your tape press, or maybe you're doing extra dumbbell flies to improve your bench, and you leave 5, 8, 10 reps in the tank, you left way too many reps in the tank. No adaptation again, might as well not do it. So on your accessories, they gotta be maximum force, right? And you gotta push yourself so that there's actual adaptation in maximum force. And then you wanna take yourself not to failure, because that's usually where injuries occur most times. But you wanna take yourself where it's meaningful. Train meaningfully, all right? Now, why do we also say the last piece with hypertrophy and healing? We'll say, hey, do pull aparts, do 50 or 100. Here's why. A couple examples. 2 are based on injuries. My good friend Jesse Dale tears up his elbow. He's always benching all the time. He goes to Westside Barbell. He wants to train with them. He's having a great bench day. And he talks to the guy, says, hey man, I got this pain right here above my elbow. It's because his tricep and the tendon in the elbow, there's a lot of inflammation there. And like, what do I do? I said, take that tiny little band over there. I said, come back and see me when you do about 300 pushdowns. Jesse's like, 300? So many. He did 300, was feeling a lot better. He said, what do I do now? I said, add another 200. So now he's 500 reps in. That's a ton of reps with a tiniest weight, right? You want all this blood flow, red blood cells, white blood cells coming to that area, flooding it for healing. So when you see us say, do a bunch of this at the end, do a bunch of tricep pushdowns or a bunch of pull aparts or just banded flies at the end, because that area was worked hard today. You want it to heal. Flood that area so it heals. My other good friend Zach Riley, pro thrower, tears his bicep. He's in the hospital. Doctor gets him all healed up. Great doctor for that piece. Doctor was an idiot in telling him what to do on recovery. He said, hey man, make sure you don't move. Don't move at all. Like, and you're going to be immobilized, and that part's cool. Right? That part's key, but don't move anything else because you don't want too much movement. Kind of like makes things kind of risky. And Zach is a PhD level neurologist and pro athlete, so he knew better, right? So yeah, he's immobilized because he tore his bicep, but he's still walking, he's still lunging, he's still doing single arm stuff over here. Why? Because even though this is the main area that's working, not the part that's immobilized is working, the extra blood flow through his whole body is sending more white blood cells, red blood cells, everything to that area, so his arm actually heals a little bit quicker, right? It turns out movement helps with health, right? And I say that kind of sarcastically, but you'd be surprised people that don't really realize how much value there is in just simply moving. But how do you optimize things? Percentages, reps and sets, optimal, minimal, maximal, for speed, for strength, and everything has to be meaningful. Apply these over and over again until you're done, and you win. Don't do it, you don't win as well, or you totally lose. See you next time.